And you can delete it after. You can delete it after.
Oh, amazing. That's it. Yay. Amazing.
Okay, hello everyone. This is our group, and we are, as you guess, our with our costume and the slide. We will go to the ancient Egypt. Okay. So what the topic? What we're gonna make a presentation is the competency, managing execution and driving for visual. Okay. The ancient, the background of our play. We're gonna make a play for presentation. The background is at the ancient Egypt, around the 580 BC, and the ancient Egyptian they accomplished the amazing things by using their style of leading people in their form. So whether this good or not, it become a basis of our current society. So their focus was on the create and control. So we're gonna make a play where the process to build the spiritual things. So yeah. And so we're gonna make a play, and then sorry. Why the reason why we picked that topic is we all have a strength in collaborate, create, and control, and we don't have any strength in compete. So that's why our group picked the topic. Okay, so now.
The first part.
Yeah, since now let's begin the play.
Okay.
Scene 1 with Cleopatra and the Pharaoh.
Wonderful.
Summon the Pharaoh.
My Highness Queen Cleopatra, I'm here.
Welcome, welcome. I have summoned you here today because in front of all the workers and my advisors, I have summoned you here today because it's the great period where my son was born into this world. It is the most happiest time for me.
It's my pleasure to service you, my queen.
Thank you.
What could I do for you?
I want you to build the most magnificent, the most extraordinary structure of the century, where you can see it over lands and lands, where you can see it from the highest mountain and the lowest lakes. You can see it from everywhere. I want you to build something from your greatest creations, because, my friend, my Pharaoh, I think you are the most competent person that can do this.
Thank you, my queen. That's my compatibility. I will build it for you in a certain time. I will make that for you. How long and how many people would you provide for me?
I will give you... How many years do you need to build this? I want it to be magnificent without any fault.
I can do that for you in 20 years?
I'll give you 25. 25, all the people you need them, take them. You need anybody, take them.
Thank you, my queen. That's magnificent.
You need resources, take it. You need the best stone, the best workers, skillful workers, whoever you need, take them. The gold, the manpower, anything you need is at your disposal.
That's magnificent for me. Please tell me what I really want and what you really need me to do.
Rewards, huh? I will give you 20 bags of gold, and all the women you require, and all the wine you need to drink your life away and live in wealth, because you will do this without any fault.
What about freedom of my people, my queen?
That is tough, my pharaoh, that is tough. I have offered you women and gold, and I've offered you everything, all resources at your disposal, but freedom.
Because my people is devoted to do that for you. We require the freedom for our life.
But I'm the queen! I will not give anyone freedom, but in this situation, I shall think about it.
Thank you, my queen.
I shall think about it.
Okay,
That's scene one, over.
so nice to meet you all. My name is Martin the Slave, and I just want to take you through what just happened here, briefly, yeah, in the play. So, as part of our subject, there's 3 processes, and this was the first one, the strategic process. Yeah, so basically, what happened now was a strategic planning included, right? We discussed how much time they needed to build the strings. We discussed how to do it a little bit. We discussed what we're going to build, what were the expectations. And also what was interesting is that Cleopatra actually talked a lot about herself and tried to get the involvement of the pharaoh in this case, and tried to convince the pharaoh through also giving him a little bit of a challenge. She communicated honestly and very effectively, yeah, so it was all very clear what she wanted, and it was very direct communication, yeah, so no going around the story, just I want this done and you can get everything I want. So also the resources were discussed. This is a very important project, you can use whatever you need. And of course, very important, rewards, yeah? What are we talking about? What is the reward for doing this project? How much payment? All these kind of things. And I think I missed the year of the swings, right? I'm going to say. Also, we wanted to include a little bit of cultural intelligence because so it was the year of the swings. Yeah, that's why we're going to build the swings. But that's why it's here. So that's the first process. So now we'll go through the next one.
Scene 2,
Scene 2.
between the pharaoh,
Pharaoh
and
and
the
the
slaves.
slaves.
My slave,
Nice to
I
meet you,
call
my friend.
you today, my queen, to request an order to build a pyramid in 25 years. But I want you, the best of my nation, to build it in 20 years. I know you are very capable of that. Can you make that happen for me? Show me your strength and what you can do for.
It would be my honor to build something for our Queen Cleopatra. My strength, my lord, is that I'm very skilled in logistics. I can bring stones from all over the empire for the best price possible.
That's excellent. What about you, my people?
My pharaoh, my skill is to carve everything to make the beautiful sculpture. So that's what I'm good at. So please utilize my ability to forward for the queen.
Magnificent, my people. You do the hard work, get on the people to get on the things done for. And you get on your talent, people, get on the things done for us too. Now, after 5 years, we can get you back and see how you have done so far with this work. Do with your heart and your talent, competency, and make things happen faster in 20 years to make this thing happen. Do you agree?
Yes, Excellency.
Thank you, my slave. Now, after you have finished this string, we will give you the freedom back to your nation, get you many bags of gold, women, and then food, and then water for your nation to the rest of your life, to the next generation too.
That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, cut.
Yeah.
So now coming to the second process of so we're working on, since we're focusing on compete of all the 4 values of the quadrant, we were first focusing on managing and driving results. Okay, and out of that, people process is the second process. So when talking about people process, there are 3 main points that were raised during the whole scene that just happened between the pharaoh and the slaves. So the first one being evaluating individual depth. As you saw, the pharaoh, what he did was he asked his people, what exactly are you good at? He asked them, and that's when Martin said, the first slave said, okay, I'm good at logistics. The second one said, I'm good at design. So that's exactly, he got the strengths of each of them, which shows his leadership skill, because he got the strengths of both of them and used it to his benefit. Second, hierarchy. In evaluating common goal, he established what is the common goal. He established that he is at a higher position, but he's giving them the option of deciding who they want on the team and still giving them a little bit of power. Motivation theory. During this whole thing, he's applying the motivation theory by giving them how they are motivated by this, by the rewards. You know, you can get their freedom. What do slaves want the most? They want their freedom. So they negotiated and got freedom, and that's, you can see it happen in my scene as well with the pharaoh. We negotiated, and so everybody in this project has a motivation involved. Second of all, pipeline development, leadership skills. What, if you saw in the scene, what did the pharaoh say? He said, okay, we'll come back in 5 years, let's check up again, how is the process going to be doing, and we can take it from there. And that's when the slaves agreed to it. And they said, yeah, that'll be a great thing. Yeah, we can check up, see how it's going. And he also gave them incentive of how they can show their leadership skills, how they can be leaders of their own teams, and there's more of an incentive for them. Therefore, not relying on anxiety and boredom. There's none of that that's involved. Then comes your determination theory that we use, which is competence, relatedness, and autonomy. He's giving them competence. He's telling them, okay, I know what you're good at. I'm going to give you the freedom to do that. And autonomy, why? Because he's telling them that you can do it at your space. He's going to only check in after 5 years. He's not going to micromanage. He's not going to be like, okay, do this, do that, do this. No, it's more of do your own thing. You're given the freedom at your time, but this is my timeline. So he's still establishing timeline with not forcing it upon his slaves so that they feel pressurized and demotivated and not encouraged to work. And last of all, rewards. So he clearly established what the rewards are going to be, which relates back to our motivation theory, which is they have all the resources they require to make the best Sphinx. They can use their talents, and obviously they get their freedom, money, and gold, and wine, and women. And it's the incentive for all Egyptians. Okay, scene 3.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite an honor to get from the pharaoh.
Yeah.
But we need to discuss how we will do with the budget.
Yeah, but we have to finish it in 5 years ago. Then.
The first phase.
Yeah, right.
So what do we want to achieve in the first 5 years?
Well,
I think if I talk about me, it's possible to get all the rocks from all over the empire, the best one they can find, we can bring it to the site. I'm sure. I need maybe 1-2 years for that. I need to get my logistic up and running, and I can put it on the site for you.
okay. Then after that, we have more skillful because we have to design and
Yes.
just carve it.
So how much time and effort you need for that?
It takes like one year. 1 year is enough.
1 year is enough?
Yes.
Okay, so we have actually plenty of time then,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Okay, that's great. And what about money and resources? You need how much people you need to make carve one block?
Maybe we need 50 skillful worker
Right.
to carve it.
Okay, so if we talk about budget, then probably you need about 2/3 of the budget, and I need 1/3 of the budget to make this happen.
Okay.
because the reward, I think, is amazing. I want to watch the Sphinx in freedom and drink wine with many women around me. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay, let's do it together.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Cut.
Well, what we have seen what two people of my slave talk about the operation process here, they all complemented from strategy process and the people process. They talk about the short and the long-term plan, what they do in 1 year, and combine with the thing from reality and the top management from the pharaoh and from the queen, and they share within that team in order to address the plan to get the result immediately. And the assumption that we never get away from that the politics, the culture of the Egyptians at that time, that also important factor impact to our strategic goal. And behind the budget, they would cut things down that how much gold they need to invest in a certain of time. And they discuss honestly and openly to trust each other. So we found accountability here. In order to monitor the actual outcomes and take corrective action, they review and they come back. The plan, is that suitable at that time already, or they need to revise it? In order to get the whole execution plan successful, it's on the link between strategy, people, and operation process. And last but not least, the behavior of the leader, from even the top management, the queen to the pharaoh, the manager, and to the leader of the group, that they need to make sure they meet the organization culture of the nation, of the organization, with the right people, the right time, the right place. Is that the execution plan is ready, or is that need to revise? And within that thing, we have seen the expectancy theory. They try to get the efforts in, and they try to discuss what they can do. And after certain years, they review their performance, how they did, and they get a reward back from even the top management and to the manager, to the leader, that we will have seen in scene 3. Last but not least, we will try to move on the behavior of the leadership.
So
So this is going to be the reward session. We're now 560 BC.
20 years later.
The Sphinx is there.
The Sphinx
We had
is
some
ready.
problems with the nose.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now 20 years later, we've all come together, all 4 roles of us have come together to after rewards, and the Sphinx has been made and everything. So everyone's happy?
We are happy we get the freedom from our highest queen here.
Thank you for your work, slaves. And okay, so that's that. Now coming to the next, we want to create an interactive session. Can you tell us what leadership behaviors you saw in all these 3 different scenes?
First, back to the first thing we did between the Cleopatra and the Pharaoh. The first one, what have you seen between the leadership style here, or the behavior from our queen toward the Pharaoh? Okay, so we would like to invite more.
Good ideas, guys, but let's keep them coming.
Let's do this.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Right?
Okay. So these are the leadership behaviors that we all used in all our different roles.
Yeah.
There was understanding self and others. I think in all the different roles, did you see us all understanding each other's competencies, seeing what each other is capable of, and seeing the strength, understanding, okay, you're in a difficult position, this is what you should do, and things like that?
Second of all, From the top management, she communicated very openly, honestly. She tried to find out what my strength, and basically I tried to get that directly and ensure those information passed to my team correctly.
You're closest to the client, basically.
Yes.
Right. So it makes sense. Okay. So measuring performance and monitoring, that was part of our planning and budget. We cut that a little bit short, but of course the slaves and the link to the pharaoh, the boss, how we plan and perform and monitor that.
And setting and goals and objectives between the slaves.
Yeah.
With the short-term and long-term, the strategy and the operation process.
Yeah.
It's also coming from the common goal of the organization, from the top management to the level and also to order the slave.
Yeah. So the plan is part of an objective for the bigger company, and pretty much everybody in the line can change and know what to do and knows where to go. Yeah.
And last but not least, all of us were motivating each other throughout the way, even between peers. They were motivating each other and seeing how they can, as two different teams, come together and build something beautiful. So that's more of collaborating of different teams and just working together and motivating.
Yeah. And we look great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are references.
Okay, that's for, yeah.
And then the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end.
And the end. Thank you.
Excellent.
Play bow.
Oh yeah, Bob, yeah.
Oh, hang on.